Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dig into the everyday gadgets that make life a little easier, a little lazier, and a whole lot cooler. Today's question comes from one of our awesome viewers, Lilith H20_27. Thanks for the push of a button on this one. You asked, how does the remote control work? Let's be honest, we've all pointed a remote, tapped a button, and expected magic to happen. But how does that magic actually work? Whether it's changing the channel, turning down the volume, or controlling lights from across the room, it's time to decode the zap. Stick around as we press play on the story behind remote control tech, right here on Explaining Everything. So, what are we really holding when we grip that plastic wand of power? A remote control is simply a wireless transmitter. When you press a button, it sends a signal, usually using infrared light or radio waves, to a receiver in your device, telling it what to do. It's like your TV, fan, or game console is constantly listening, just waiting for a tiny signal to act on. This kind of communication is known as line of sight when it's infrared, meaning the remote has to see the device. If you've ever wondered why you have to aim directly at your TV, that's why. And while it feels like magic, it's really just invisible light pulses encoded with instructions, kind of like Morse code made of photons. Each blink is packed with data that your device instantly translates into an action, like turn up the volume or switch to HDMI 2. Remote controls go back farther than you'd think. In 1950, Zenith Electronics introduced the first TV remote, called the Lazy Bone. And yes, it was wired. You still had to drag a cord across the living room like some kind of tech leash. But in 1955, engineer Eugene Pauly invented the first wireless remote. It used flashes of light to control the TV, and it was called the Flashmatic. It was a breakthrough, with some flaws. Sunlight could confuse it, and it didn't work great at angles. Still, it kick-started a remote control revolution that would only get smarter over time. And really, it was built for one sacred purpose: never having to get up to change the channel again. From that point on, the idea of total control from the couch started to take hold. And let's be honest, we've never looked back. Most traditional remotes use infrared or IR light to talk to your device. When you press a button, the remote sends out a blinking pattern of infrared pulses, invisible to the naked eye, but readable by the receiver in your TV or stereo. Each button sends a unique digital code, and the device knows how to respond based on the one it gets. The signal travels fast, but it's pretty fragile. Anything blocking the path, like your cat walking in front of the TV, can interrupt it. That's why modern IR remotes use bursts of rapid, modulated pulses to reduce interference. Fun fact, if you point your remote at your phone's camera, you'll actually see the infrared light flash, because phone sensors can detect it. It's low power, low cost, and super reliable, which is why IR is still going strong after all these years. While IR is still common, newer remotes use radio frequency or RF, especially in smart homes, game consoles, and streaming devices. RF doesn't need line of sight, so you can hide your receiver behind a wall or in a cabinet, and it still works just fine. Some systems even use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, which allows for longer ranges and two-way communication between the remote and the device. That's how your smart remote knows what apps you have open or shows a keyboard for typing on your TV. RF also allows for pairing, meaning it won't accidentally control your neighbor's TV. In a way, remotes are turning into mini computers, not just sending commands, but talking back and syncing across your digital life. And in crowded households with a dozen devices, RF helps cut down the chaos by making each remote uniquely linked to its target. Today's remotes are smarter than ever. And in some cases, you are the remote. Voice control, mobile apps, gesture controls, even smartwatches. They're all replacing or enhancing the classic button-filled brick. Universal remotes can learn multiple devices. Some smart TVs can be controlled with hand motions, and many remotes now come with microphones built in for voice search. We've gone from clickers to AI-powered hubs in a matter of decades. Even your phone can double as a remote for nearly everything in your home. It's kind of wild to think that something designed to change channels now helps run our entire entertainment ecosystems. And more. And the best part? You can now do all of that with just your voice. No couch cushion digging is required. So, how does the remote control work? It all starts with a button press, but under the hood, it's infrared beams, radio waves, encoded signals, and a whole lot of clever engineering. What began as a luxury gadget has become a quiet cornerstone of our digital lives, giving us control at a distance with a flick of the thumb. And whether you're zapping channels, dimming lights, or queuing up your next binge watch, you're using tech that connects two devices with invisible language. It's fast, it's sleek, and, let's be honest, it saved all of us a lot of steps. 3 cheers for controlled laziness. Remote controls didn't just give us power over our electronics. They gave us power over how we interact with our spaces. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.